Proclaimed reincarnation of inventor Nikola Tesla filed an official statement with the clerk's office today. He claims the frustrations of the day are no accident, but by design. We caught up with him outside the municipal building this afternoon.
Evening tonight, we take a close look at what victims call an invisible prison, a network of human trafficking and remote harassment that they say reaches into the mind itself. Claimants describe synthetic telepathy and constant stalking in a system they believe operates beyond the law. One of those speaking out.
Human trafficking and what some call synthetic telepathy harassment is being described as an invisible prison. Survivors say the people running it believe they are beyond the reach of the law. Investigators tell us that may be changing.
Hidden transmitters were intruding on our thoughts. People who said it were mocked. Tonight, an international task force confirms those claims were real, and experts say the covert network has been influenced.
Says he's the reincarnation of inventor Nikola Tesla. Is speaking out tonight. He claims a group he calls the Angels has been working against him. He joins us live. Jesus, you issued what you called an ultimatum last year. You say the response has been silence. What's
the video places these human trafficked victims in a situation that many young runaways lead here find themselves with nothing shortly upon arrival to the Walk of Fame. For the organized thought loss of what they have to the people sent to name a price for these kids stuck with no place to go. In a Zersetzinger circumstance, what's worse, that mere sex industry direction they are led, but the human sacrifice to the Hollywood Hills folks, who just as initially thought of in the Manson murders case, the things these celebrities are doing to these bums lead, here was on par to a just deserving outcome in that case of what was done to them. I haven't been on the top end of any of that, and I never would because I set out to expose evil, but from what I do know, things are always worse than you can imagine. That is a fact.
Secretive presence he calls the Elohim governs the world in its entirety. He joins us live from the city center. Thank you for being with us.
Another night on the Walk of Fame.
When are you going to get the Illuminati building on the Highland and Hollywood corner?
These flakes ain't ever doing anything but bring sacrifices here to crush them.
A growing number of people say they're trapped by a hidden system.
To read and write thoughts, ending free will and steering human actions like remote-controlled puppets. They believe this wireless network is what many through history mistook for gods, aliens, or ghosts. Whether gentle or cruel, they say the effect is the same: domination.
In quiet rooms,
this idea may be the biggest conspiracy
of all, touching every one of us. Once a punchline, the theory describes a hidden network able to manipulate thought and emotion. Leaked data and investigators say a clandestine network is using a combination of brain reading and brain writing technology to invade minds, override free will, and live stream people's lives as interactive entertainment for bettors. Targets say the system has been mistaken for gods, aliens, or ghosts for centuries.
Good evening. Our investigation tonight looks at what victims call an invisible prison, an alleged network of human trafficking and mind manipulation. They say remote signals are used to inflict continuous psychological pain, a practice known as remote neural torture. According to advocates, those directing the operations believe
the invisible prison built by this human trafficking mind assault system is real, and it is operating in silence. On the other side of that system are perpetrators who believe they can act without consequence, that justice can't reach them. They are wrong. There will come a moment when that arrogance is cut short, when the dread of well-deserved and long-earned accountability.
An unusual milestone.
Jesus, he says, is a forward time machine made from nothing more than the internet.
Good evening. I'm outside the Providence Research Complex, where technologist Jesus H. Chris says he used a so-called internet wormhole to project data decades ahead. And just hours ago, he says the future answered.
Welcome to Teslarama, the outer world. Here no one bleeds, no one withers, no one wakes up hurting. It's an immortal orchestra of invention, music, and light. But we got bored. Perfection turned quiet, and quiet turned heavy. A safe cage for thunder. Someone else found it. They jacked the feed, twisted the knob. After all these years of gaslighting, of living in this Truman Show set they built around me, it's hard to picture a good ending. They swore they were on my side. They said they'd help. Instead, they yanked the strings, tilt the floor, and watch me stumble. Every time I try to build something, they slip a wrench in and call it fate. Years of gaslighting and this Truman Show kind of targeting. It's hard to imagine a good ending with the people who keep me here. They promised support, even said they'd stay out of the way, but instead they trip every step I take. I watch them from the edges, the Archon watchers with their headsets and glowing screens, nudging thoughts through the air.
Strange lights over the high desert tonight are sparking talk of a secret program called
Project Blue Beam.
One man says the spectacle isn't science fiction at all, but prophecy fulfilled. Channel 9's Melissa Cruz is live in Albuquerque.
Hundreds have gathered here after...
You can see what many believe is the face and figure of Jesus. It showed up just after 6 o'clock, and the crowd hasn't stopped growing. About everyone thinks it's a miracle. Some point to the patchwork of contrails overhead and a web of antennas just outside of town. I spoke with engineer and musician Jesus H. Christ, who studies the phenomenon.
Look at that. You see how it's fanned out like feathers? That's not a regular cloud, man. That's from the line they laid earlier. Now it's all spread, and those pulses, whatever they're hitting it with, it's making these shapes. It almost looks like brush strokes in the sky. That's energy work. It's like they paint with it.
They used to call divine what no one could explain.
Turns out to be a pattern in the air, painted by machines.
They built a system to make miracles. Clouds shaped like saints, seas that part in the sky. We call it the God Machine. Arrays, aerosol sculptors, charge modulators.
I map the pulses, you direct them.
Fulfill scripture. The man who claims responsibility calls himself Jesus H. Christ. He joins us live.
Project Bluebeam. It's the manifestation, the intentional biblical prophecy fulfillment as done prior.
It's like an angel. That's Jesus right there. Gorgeous, isn't it? But it's not heaven doing that. It's physics. Those clouds are loaded with nano-metal particulates from jet trails. Paint them with a phased array microwave sweep and they behave like pixels in the sky. Here on the laptop, you can see the model.